Hello everyone. This video we used over and over again to show the characters and who they are so I don't have to find out who they are in the middle of the video. I will be adding more characters, so this video will change over time, but this is the base video, and for now I have no new characters. So of course you all know who this is. This is Spartan_DB11 or myself. This is Cart. He is the main leader. Now we're starting to get to your guys' characters. This is GamerFox999, and he is the second in command to Cart. This is Moose6547, and he is Cart and GamerFox99's personal agent. So this is the first member of the fire team. This is Halo Sniper King 21. The second member of the fire team, Galaxy Wilkins. The third member of the fire team, Weston. Member number 4 is Nomad Studios. The final member of the fire team is Reaper Gamer 8889. Starting with the ODSTs for the next one, we have Crazy Scottish Boy, and I will for sure be adding more ODSTs in the future. The second ODST is that one Halo guy. The third ODST is Scott Anderson. The final ODST, as of now, is Matthews Tom. So quickly, this is the Rogue Fire team. From left to right, we have Sharpshot, Blitz, Hammer, Scorch, and Riot. What's up, everyone? It's Mr. Army back again with Season 1, Episode 4 of the Battle for Planet Qutari. And here you have what's remained of the Covenant camp, now the Banished camp. And as you can see, everyone's just kind of relaxing. So this base is actually a lot bigger than it is. This is just the very back. Way up in the front, there is a large wall that they built out of pieces and parts of ships and supplies that they brought down. And Atrax went back up to his ship to look for more people to recruit and left this banished camp under the command of his two chieftains here and the mini faction. Alright, so let's just get right into this. We'll start on the right and work our way left. So right here you have two pilots getting out of their Banshees, reporting in on their scouting run, I guess. And this elite has come to greet him with his grunts, to ask them about any information that would be useful or anything new. And then over here you just have the Goliath and a mech suit just hanging over here with three Jackal skirmishers talking right here. And then you have a Brute talking to his Brute troopers, I guess. And then these two Brutes are talking with these other three Brute troopers. And then right here you have another elite. That's actually the same one from before. And then in here you have a bunch of Brutes just guarding the ghosts. Coming back a ways, you have a group of elite, or an elite major, or I guess it's a minor, but we're going to call it a major, inspecting his troops and informing them of what their new orders are. And here's, coming back over here, we have the AA gun just looking up into the sky. And these are actually modified AA guns, and you'll find out later in the episode how they are modified. And right here you have a bunch of Brutes just waiting for their leader to come back, and he actually is coming right here with his two guards. And here you just have a bunch of the Covenant bodies that were left behind. And right here you have the grunts carrying the bodies into these skiffs, which in this one is being escorted away by these two ghosts here. It's full of dead elites. And then this one's almost full of elites, so they're going to try and get them all away in as few skiff loads as they can. And back over here you have my custom faction, including a bunch of the brutes over here who are all talking to each other, and then the ultras who are all talking to each other as well. Here's their little sub-commander, I guess. And then this brute and this elite over here are talking. So they are getting along as they should. And then back here, again, you have more storm elites talking, and they're supposed to be on guard of the ghosts. And then here comes their leader back after talking with these brutes here. And then back there, you can see the pile of Covenant weapons. Sorry for the shaky camera. And an elite who just picked up a carbine. And then right here, you have up front of this AA gun, you have the two chieftains just kind of guarding this little meeting that's happening. Then you have this chieftain who's trying to get in. And you have the 4 elite ultras, which are like the covert ops ultras, I guess, stopping him from getting in. Once again, I'm sorry for the shaky camera. Then right here you have Hunter, and I believe it's Bane. It's been a little while since we've seen these guys, but here they are. And then, I forget who it was, and I'll find out before the next scene, who came up with the idea name for that brute back there. It was Virtrinius, or Virtuous, something like that. But I'm still in need of names for these 3 elites here. So they're on comms with Hunter, and I believe it's Bane, telling them that they have joined the Banished, and the Spartans are willing to comply. So they'll be coming and joining the fight shortly. And then here again is another, the camera focuses, there we go, another AA gun that's been modified. So, on to the next scene. Okay, so now something has happened. People are starting to turn around to see this group of elites here running towards the commander's current position. And these elites have come to greet them as to see what's going on, and the bodies are now cleared. And this elite is making an example of this grunt who fell over tired, and also this guy fell over. There we go. Now this skiff is fully loaded, and the ghosts have stopped, and the skiff has also stopped, making this elite question why they're stopping. And these brutes have turned, and this group right here was told to stay put, but these guys moved up to see what else is going on. So here they are again. This one's turning to watch their back to see what happens. Not much else has changed, just people have turned, and these elites have gotten closer to where the elites back there have gotten closer to their destination of where they're supposed to be, and this brute has turned around. So, on to the third scene. So now these elites have met up with this group that came to greet them, as well as these brutes here, and they're just talking about what happened on the front wall, and now we're going to cut to a scene that happened hours ago. So if you couldn't tell, this is at the base that our team fled to after the attack from the Covenant and the rogue Spartans. So if you couldn't tell, this is the Oni officer now at his base where he belongs. And then he got his assistant and his 2 heavy guards. Then here's the fire team and my Spartan and Cart and the other 2 Spartans. I'm not going to address everyone by name. I'm going to hope you guys saw the intro and me introducing all the characters. That intro will be over every video. So, I'm not going to introduce. So here are the ODSTs back here as well. If you're asking where are the Marines, they're all resting because they are very tired. And that's what the Oni officer is telling them about the Banished base that they encountered, thanks to the active camo Spartan that was there scouting it out. And now he's assigning the Spartans and the ODSTs on this assignment, as well as these 3. So they're asking how on earth they're supposed to attack the camp with no backup, and he's telling them that he's sending his special commando Marines with them. So now we'll cut back to the main battle of the scene. So here you have the next scene, and these Halo Infantry Marines are the special commandos that the Oni officer was talking about. And here they are helping out the fire team to push these front Banished troops off and kill them. And you can see there's quite a few of them, all right up front here, doing a forward rush after destroying the wall. Back there you can see the commander and his group who ran from that side over there. Now you have this special operation, or the Spec Ops brutes, all coming towards the enemy, I guess. And a bunch of the brutes that were back there running forward, and the Spec Ops elites are being commanded by this guy who is pointing his sword towards the enemy in the battle to rush them in. All the brutes that were huddled together are now have opened fire on this group of Marines and stuff right here. And the Goliath and Mech Suit have both rushed, or are both rushing at this battle that's happening right here. So we're going to start on the left side of the, I'm just going to call them Elite Marines. So they're shooting at this grunt in a ghost, which the skiff rammed on the accelerator, I guess you could call it, and is now ramming into this ghost, pushing it away, and these Marines are shooting at it. And this gunner up here was killed, so they didn't get wiped out. And the other skiff was also taken out. That's one of the main reasons they saw these guys coming, was the explosion of the other skiff. Then here you have this Marine right here just unloading into the skiff's engine. The driver looking over here at this grunt who he just smashed into. And this Marine in the passenger seat is shooting at these orange elites right here. And then you have a bunch of Marines right here with bulldogs or assault rifles, or bulldogs or shotguns. And they also have assault rifles. And then here you have, you know who you are. I'm not going to go through the characters. It will sit in the intro. Here you have the EVA unloading into the backs of these two. And then you have the trio right there. The orange one is holding onto the hammer and unloading into the two brutes right there. And then you have this infant Marine who ran at him with his assault rifle, so he pulled out his pistol and is now shooting this one in the head. Or the one back here in the head. And this JFO is shooting this major in the head. And the scout is unloading into this elite here, and the brutes over there. And here you have 4 Marines with rockets running in to take out the AA guns, and then you have more Marines right here, either shooting into the group or running to reinforce their forces. And then you have 5 tech officers all hacking into the AA guns, or trying to, and also cutting off communications. So here you have the driver also just ramming into these grunts right here. The passenger has a bulldog and just helped finish off the spread team here, and is also shooting at the brutes over there. And same with this gunner. Oh, he got knocked over. He's shooting at the brutes back there. And then here you have a bunch more Marines also wiping out those brutes, or helping to wipe out the brutes back there. And then, so this was what happened first. This Warthog was the first one to ram through so that they couldn't get the Banshees up in the air. And is now crushing these 2 elites who tried to get into their Banshees, but it was too late. Then here you have the line of brutes all shooting into these Marines here, and even more brutes with the elite who was getting the carbine earlier right up front. So that's it for this scene. Moving on to the next one. So this is kind of just a mini scene here. A Phantom has landed right in front of the leaders and the brutes over here. And we're about to find out who's in it, so let's get it out of the way real quick. So now, as you can see, we have the enemy fire team, and I'm not going to go through their characters because it'll be in the intro. But I was completely wrong about both these two. This is Hammer and this is Riot. But here You can see that the chieftains got out of the way so that the leader can talk to Hammer. But, yeah, something else has happened over here. Something a little special. We got some drop pods that dropped into a hot zone. And if you guys know ODSTs, you know that this is their favorite thing to do. Hot drop. And then here, yeah, you have 6 grunts that came out. And these 2 Marines over here are now gunning down these 4 grunts here. And everyone has moved up. And these 3 Marines are here and now running around the side. So here you have the fire team members all shooting in here. As well as the mech suit got closer to the Warthog. But 2 rocket Marines are aiming at it right now. And the other 2 are still moving up the side. And the reason these drop pods weren't shot down is because the tech team hacked into the AA guns and shut them off temporarily. Except for we still have to figure out how they're modified. Modified. Alright, on to the next scene. So here we have the next scene, and as you can see, ODSTs have kicked out of the pods and are now engaged in the enemy in combat. So here you have the fire team again, and then you have these 2 ODSTs that dropped right in front of them and are about to open fire upon them. And then you have another drop pod that landed right here, and then you have my custom ODST. That's probably my best ODST that I've ever done, like I've said before. And then you have, once again, I'm not going to name these characters, but then you have the 3 up front here. You have the orange one, the blue one, and the white one, all from the characters, and the red one is also a character. He is about to shoot this elite in the head. So here you have the next scene, and as you can see, ODSTs have dropped out of the pods, 2 here, right in front of the fire team. The 4 characters back there, which again I'm not going to name because they'll be in the intro. And then you have another ODST here, my best custom ODST that I've ever done. They all dropped right into combat, and of course, my guy, who, if you didn't notice, was missing from here, dropped down in the pod there, and is now taking out the Goliath. And as you can see, the mech suit was taken out by these 2 rocket Marines back here, blowing its leg and arm off, disarming him, and hitting the opposite side of his shield. Then you have a bunch of dead brutes right here, and the Marines are beginning to fall, the elite Marines, I guess. But the main force is still right here, and the trio is still opening fire on the brutes that are rushing in here. And then as you can see, the brutes are looking over at these 2 ODSTs, but they realize that these guys are on their side, and they've seen them before, and that they'll take care of it. And here you have the 2 Marines shooting at these grunts over here. And, of course, this Marine is opening fire into the brutes back there. That's about it for this scene. On to the next one. So here you have the next scene, and Marines have started to push up a little bit more and clear out behind the Spartans. And these 2 Spartans have ran around this side of the Warthog to shoot at the enemy, their rogue Spartan fire team. And the skiff moved, or the brute died on the accelerator, so the skiff kept pushing the ghost until they were out of the scene. And then here you have this Marine who's reaching for his friend as they both get shot by the sniper, which again, I'm not going to reveal the names. And you have this Spartan running back around here to assist these 2 in killing the enemy fire team. And then you have, again, I'm not going to say these guys' name, but they're also attacking these guys and shooting right over here. And then the other 2 fire team members are getting the call that these 2 have spotted the enemy, the rogue Spartan fire team, and this guy's launching a grenade into here, and this guy is shooting at these guys who are getting rammed into a Warthog. They also took cover behind the drop pod that this ODST burst out of and is taking down a bunch of these brutes. This ODST is also shooting these brutes in the back, and same with that blue ODST. The red ODST shot the elite back here, and is now about to engage the Black Storm Elite leader. And here you have the white ODST that just took down these jackals is now shooting this jump pack brute, so he's hoping his jetpack explodes. And then here you have the Marine gunner aiming at the group of brutes right there, and the same with this gunner here. Then back here you have an injured Marine, which the tech operatives also work as medics, so they're helping to fix him. And then here we've got his buddy who is holding on to him. And then you got another fallen Marine and last Marine over here. And the rocket Marines are running over to assist over here. Then you have a dead Marine right there. And a bunch more dead Covenant, and a few more brutes are falling to this solo Marine's machine gun fire and the turret's gunfire. But then the worst part about this scene is my favorites of any Halo character ever. The ODSTs are being taken down. Hunter, or Riot, I'm not going to go through the names, but the black one threw a knife into the ODST's neck right there and is now shooting him with the SMG. And the blue one is just unloading the needler into this other ODST. And then, even worse than that, but not really, because they're ODSTs, the AA guns have revealed how they're modified. They're not just AA guns. They can also target ground troops, which they're doing right now. They're currently targeting the Warthogs. So we'll see how that goes in the next scene. So here you have the next scene, and a lot has gone wrong now. The AA guns have both fired at a Warthog. This one hit and toppled backwards and crushed the Marines that were running over here. So here you have the passenger. The driver is under there. Here you have one of the Marines that was running away. These two are running behind. There's the turret. This one was up here charging at the enemy, and then this one was also charging at the enemy and got knocked over, and this one's checking up on him. This was the third guy that was running back behind, and he got hit hard, but he'll be alright. And then you have this Warthog that also got hit underneath the belly and is now rolling over, about to hit all these Marines right here. The third Warthog is still rushing in, and heard the explosions. And here you have most of the Spartans and Marines here turning around, except for Cart, or whatever his name was, I keep forgetting. It's been a little bit since we've had him in a mock, but again, here you have the ODSTs getting wiped out. Marines all adjusting to the situation. Spartans. Well, that's it from this scene. Next scene. So here you have the next scene, and right here you can see the Spartan lifting the car off of this injured Marine down here, and this Marine is now checking up on this Marine right here, and this Marine is also laying this other Marine down here, calming him down. The Marines are now moving up to cover up the Spartans, who are running this way and are going to try and engage these Spartans over here in combat. And these rocket Marines are about to open fire on the AA gun. And now but also the AA gun is aiming right at this Warthog here. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but my guy did manage to take down the Goliath. And there's only a few brutes remaining right here, with the ODSTs all unloading into them. The main force is still right here, and the Spartans are moving up here to engage these two, which are their perfect matches, because a sniper and a sniper, and a marksman and a marksman. And here you have the leader here, shooting at this guy over here, and this Spartan unloading into this brute that's rushing at him right here. And as you can see, this Warthog also got crushed a bunch of these Marines here. A bunch more dead bodies everywhere. And yeah, next scene. So here you have the next scene, and not much has changed other than this Warthog was shot and the passenger barely managed to get out, hiding behind the Banshee. And my Spartan, who hates losing troopers, is now rushing towards these Marines who probably didn't make it. Except for the one who hid in the Banshee. And yep, next scene. So now it may be hard to tell because all the bodies laying everywhere. But the UNSC is retreating because the AA guns would mow them down in one more blow, and Atriox's ship has once again reappeared up in the sky, and it's starting to deploy phantoms filled with more Banished. And so this Warthog was lifted off, these Marines who were injured, and the dead ones. The injured Marine is now in the hands of this Spartan who was yelling at these two to get back here. And the commander did something surprising. He told the troops to stop firing. And he told them to do that so that they could send a message to UNSC that nothing can stop them. And that they will continue to grow. And they will take over everything. So the fire team is just kind of admiring their work here. And Hunter is also yelling at everyone, or Hammer is yelling at everyone to cease fire. But these guys are also just kind of aiming their guns back just in case. And actually something surprising happened. The leader is wounded. That's one of the main reasons they're retreating. But he is yelling at them not to because he obviously doesn't care for his troops. And seeing as most of them are dead, he doesn't care anyway. So the two rocket Marines dropped their rockets and are now running. As you can see, this Marine was wanting to stay with his friend, but the medics / tech dudes are yelling at him that he's gone, and there's nothing they can do now. So my Spartan is also just waiting for the ODSTs to get back here, so you can see the 5 ODSTs. And no, this character is not up for a selection. He is not. The other ones are just kind of running, and the injured Marines that were right here are being carried off the field, and most of them are dropped their weapons because weapons are replaceable, lives are not. And yeah, that's about it. Surprisingly, these 2 grunts are alive. They hid behind the drop pod the whole time, and this grunt is dead. His ghost is just sitting here. And this is the brute that hit the leader, and he is now being dragged away by his assistant, and this Spartan here is just helping clear their backs, but he's not firing because they were told to retreat. And yeah, well, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everyone who watches to the end of my videos and sees everything and not just click on and clicks off. Thank you guys so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This will probably be a very long video, but see you in the next one.